Hi, and welcome to Church with Jess, Volume 22. As promised, hopefully it's Sunday evening. Hopefully I will have it ready and up before midnight. So I can make good on my promise to have 2 episodes of church for you guys this week since I missed last week. Anywho, we are back to the Russian Gypsy fortune-telling cards, which I love a lot because I feel like it's kind of an in-depth reading. You match up different images to create a whole image. And we had a few matches that we're gonna look at today. So here's the spread. So I usually ask a question or have something in mind for the universe, for the divine source, God, great spirit, whatever you want to call it. And I guess I haven't really been the last couple of weeks, I haven't had something super specific in mind. So I just kind of asked, and I wanted to know, what is the general guidance that the human race needs at this time? Concerning our Mother Earth. Sorry, I could not read my writing. So what is the general guidance that the human race needs at this time concerning our Mother Earth and the state of the world? So I just thought about that while I was shuffling through the cards, and this is what I came up with. The first match, I'm trying not to say so much, but I have done very poorly thus far. I can hear it in my mind after I say it. So I'll try. Can't make any promises there. Anyways, the first picture that we matched was the castle. I know it is kind of dark in here. So hopefully you saw that. Anyways, so the castle. The castle is, the period of influence is life. So it's a card that can span your whole life. And it is the symbol for security. The general meaning of the image of a castle, it's material security. A castle has always meant safety and protection from one's enemies. Traditionally, it referred to a heavily walled building fortified to protect the inhabitants from enemy attack. As civilization progressed, people no longer needed the strong fortification, but the idea of safety and refuge has remained. The saying, "a home is a person's castle," still has meaning today. A castle had to be built using sound methods in order to be a place of safety. Likewise, a home can be a refuge only if one puts in enough time and effort to make it a comfortable place. Thus, the meaning of this picture is that one will get one's just rewards, but it's due to one's earnest efforts in life and not to chance. In the past, a strong castle provided security and the opportunity to live one's natural life to the end. The picture is a life picture. That is, its prediction spans your life. It represents those aspects of your life that will provide an optimum environment for you to live in. So yeah, we can't just sit back and expect things to fall in our lap, just because we might believe in the law of attraction and the universe and all that. It doesn't mean oh, okay, believe it and it'll just fall in your lap. It's you actually have to put in the work and make an effort and make yourself open to receive the blessings that are coming your way. And you know, you get to decide that. You get to decide what, you know, if you're going to just sit around and kind of let your life happen to you, or if you're going to be proactive and create the life that you want to see yourself in. So we have the castle in, I forgot to put my glasses on and I don't even know where they are. They're not anywhere near me. So forgive me for like squinting and having trouble being able to read stuff. Okay, so we have the image in position 3, which basically says a long life. So that's great, right? I think most people probably want to live a long and fruitful life. And anyways, this does not mean that you can take foolish chances or not take care of yourself. A castle can deteriorate or be captured by the enemy if one is not careful. In the same way, you have to be protective of your health and environment to ensure that you will live out your years. A healthy lifestyle with work, relaxation, and enjoyment of family and friends leads to longevity. The picture is reassuring in that it implies that what you are doing for your health and welfare is positive and will lead you to a long life. Yeah, that's so true. And, you know, we've heard the saying that your body is your temple. And I believe that, you know, it's the temple that houses your soul. It's the vessel that carries your soul in it. So in order for your soul to fulfill its purpose on this earth and the physical plane, you know, it needs a healthy vessel to travel in. So it is super important to, you know, do everything with intention and, you know, put good things into your body. And if you want to know more about, you know, doing good things for your body and totally just changing, you know, transforming your life and, you know, in 30 days and beginning a new journey of health, and with superfoods and antioxidants and just organic, non-GMO, whole foods. If you want to know some more about that and about a total health reset coming up on September 8th, I will post a link. I will attempt to post a link for you to follow. But I did an ultimate lifestyle transformation back in May, and it totally changed my life and changed how I view my health and my body and everything. And I just feel so, like, it did so much for me that I really want to share it with other people that might be feeling like they're at that point with themselves. So I will definitely post a link for that so you can check more on that out if that's something that resonates with you. Anywho, so the next image that we matched, almost all the images we matched are all in the same row, by the way. So the next image we matched is the woman. Let me find my notes. I mark all the pages. Oh, sorry, the lady, actually, not the woman. So the period of influence is short, so this could be happening, you know, within a couple weeks of this reading. It's lady is the image of lady represents support and help. The lady in the card symbolizes a feminine force that gives you help and insight. She's someone who's mature in outlook and wise enough to give you good advice or simply be there when you need her. The lady picture means down-to-earth, practical support. The lady could be your mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, friend, coworker, or anyone who's close enough to help you. When males get this picture, the main idea of support is true for them also. However, in position 2, there's a hint of love present, and that is the position that we have it in. Which states, someone is giving you a helping hand, not out of friendship, but due to hidden love. The picture can refer to either a man or a woman who is offering the help. Whether a man or a woman gets the picture, it means someone is helping you, giving you support, but for an ulterior reason, hidden love. If all you want is support, then accept it because it is given genuinely. However, keep in mind that the other person likes you, so don't do anything unwise to hurt his or her feelings. Don't take advantage of them, just because you know they might like you. They're offering you. It's somebody is genuinely trying to help you and give you advice, help guide you, no matter what their feelings are. Quite often, when males and females work together or are good friends, sexual tension is present. This is normal and just means that we are vibrant individuals and the opposite sex appreciates us. The picture can also refer to someone much younger, having a puppy love crush on you. You might not even be aware of this person's existence. When the picture comes up, look around you. See who it could refer to, but don't do anything that may hurt or embarrass the person unnecessarily. A well-known Russian proverb states, "Don't spit in the well. You may need to drink the water. Don't burn your bridges." Today, when age barriers are crumbling, it's good to have friends of various ages. So I see this image as personally as somebody who is just very wise. They are very knowledgeable, and they have genuine advice, help to offer you. Maybe it's a sort of spirit guide, a mother figure, or maybe it could even represent Mother Earth, and we have to take care of her as she takes care of us. So yeah, just, the person who is giving you this advice, or guiding you, has deeper feelings for you. So it's important to, be gentle with that, and if it's unrequited for you, just be gentle with that person. Don't make it so that they don't want to be in your life anymore. Don't burn your bridges. Just take the advice because it's very genuine and it is meant to help you. But don't use that person knowing how they feel about you just to get something that you might want, basically. So the next image is the book. I'm burning a road opener candle. It's been burning for probably about 24 hours now. So the book is another short influence card, which means, it's something that's going to happen pretty soon here, within a couple weeks of this reading. So it's a symbol for secret news. The book has always been associated with knowledge. It is not only having the book, but also being able to read it that gives power to the owner. In the Middle Ages, only the clergy could read. Thus, it was the church that had the greatest power during that time. Knowledge is power. That's what that brings to mind. And it's so true when you think about that and think about, there was a time where reading wasn't the norm. People didn't know how to read and write. And those that did had all the information or could control all of the information. Think about that, if people, it just really, really makes you think that, if people don't know how to read or write something, the people who do can easily manipulate those who are uneducated, not even necessarily uneducated, who just don't know any better. It becomes easy to manipulate them and say oh, this is what this says, because they have no idea if it does or doesn't. They just take it to be true. So anyways, I think that it's interesting to think about that and think about even now in current times that we're in, how information is so twisted and misconstrued, and how there is so much false information out there that is taken to be truth without doing any sort of research. So anyways, it just kind of that's what it makes me think of when I think about just one group, one minority, the church, at that time having the greatest power because they could read or write, and most other people couldn't. That's why it's so important to educate yourself, and not just the beliefs that you're already tied to, but just educate yourself about everything, question everything. With the invention of the printing press, books became available to make the masses and knowledge spread, or to the masses and knowledge spread. However, not all of us assign as much importance to knowledge as we should, and that touches back on what I just said. Thus, even today, it is the people who are in the know, who are privy to private knowledge, who hold the most power. The book picture tells you to be aware of the paths of communication around you and advises you to use them to your advantage. The period of influence is short, as knowledge and news are ever-changing. And yeah, that's true, that it's ever-changing, so never stop educating yourself. When we stop learning, we die. But I think Albert Einstein said that, something along those lines. Always educate yourself, because, and Facebook does not count as educating yourself. I'm sorry to say, for those that are addicted to social media, that is not education. You really, really, there's so many people who have so many opinions and who will hear something and repeat it, and it just constantly gets repeated and repeated and repeated without anybody questioning it. I see that a lot on Facebook. So Facebook is not a credible source for your information. Educate yourself. Know what's going on in the world. Know what's going on with people. So, I can't see. But we have it in position 2, which says, something that is of importance to you is being hidden from you. Someone is hiding information that is important to you. It doesn't have to be done maliciously. It can simply be that the person doesn't think the information concerns you. When you get this picture, be super sensitive to the information that's flowing around you. Keep your ears open so that what people are communicating, you will receive. And that's kind of what I was just talking about. There's so much information around us. I think that a lot of the truth is being hidden or covered up. There's definitely a lot of things that don't add up right now, or just probably in the history of forever, but there's things that don't add up. And there's a lot of false information and a lot of lies, and a lot of questions. So I'm really saying so many times. I'm failing miserably at not saying it. So yeah, basically, you know, there's information out there that's being withheld because whoever has the information doesn't think that you need to know it. You know, and I think that that's true. I think that there is a lot of information being covered up or being hidden, I've actually seen a lot of information that is pretty, you know, from different sources that is threatening the popular opinion, and challenging it, and it gets immediately censored, covered up, hidden, taken down. So again, like, so important to do your research and seek, you know, the information is there, you know, seek out the truth. Don't just take any given, you know, words as truths, you know, no matter what the source is. You know, you should always seek your answers from multiple sources, not biased sources, based on the ideas you already have. Like, if you want to expand your mind and expand your knowledge, you have to look at things you might not think that you agree with as well, or people that, you know, you don't think that you agree with. You know, look at all the different sides. Things are multifaceted. Not everything is black or white. So yeah, just do your research. Very important. Okay. So our next, I believe, is the letter. Can you see that? So the period of influence for the letter is immediate to short. So immediate would be like, either this just happened or it's about to happen, to short, which would be like within the next like 2 to 4 weeks. It is a symbol for news from a distance. Ever since humans learned to write and read, I feel like this kind of goes along with the book as well. Ever since humans learned to write and read, the letter has been a means of spreading information and delivering news. Thus, the letter picture indicates some type of news. Its period of influence is immediate and of short duration, as news becomes old very fast. So we have it in position 4, which represents, it says, you will hear sad news. This news can be regarding your own interest or relating to someone you know well. So there's some type of sad news. I don't necessarily know what it is. That could, you know, be something that's very personal to you, or maybe it's something, that's happening in the world. Maybe it's, these child sex trafficking rings, that are led by prominent public figures that, you know, it's, have been going on for a while, but are really like coming to surface right now. That's pretty sad news. But whatever it might be, just know that it is fleeting. You know, again, it could be something that you've just found out, or that you're about to find out, but it's fleeting. It won't last more than a couple weeks, and it'll have passed. So, you know, just know, always a mixture of good and bad, positive and negative, to create balance. So we have to deal with difficult things, difficult situations, difficult emotions sometimes, to get to the other side of that. So now we are to our final card, which on the final card, I hope you can see that, you basically will go through all the images on that card, and we will read them in the position that they are in, and which is supposed to represent the current situation, and also in position 1, which is supposed to represent the outcome. So we actually do have a match on this, so we'll start with that. Trees. The forest. So it's a middle influence, so I think that's like 2 to 4 months or 3 to 6 months from now. And it's a symbol for the people around you. A forest is made up of many trees. It has weathered storms, fires, animals, parasites, and anything else that nature has thrust upon it. Yet the trees stand, giving protection to their neighbors and in turn being protected by them. In the same way, we do not stand alone. We're surrounded by people. The picture refers to people who have grown up with you or who have shared experiences of a growing nature. For the most part, these people are helping you, as indicated by the picture in the first 2 positions. However, there are times when you have to be aware of the people around you, which the picture indicates in the last 2 positions. So, we have it in position 2, mixing with a purpose in numerous and agreeable society. I have a lot of notes on this. Okay, mixing with a purpose in numerous and agreeable society. The picture tells you that whatever activities you are doing are good for you. At the same time, you are having a good time. If you're not doing much socializing, then the picture urges you to get out and do something. There are times in life when you benefit by being a part of a social group rather than being alone. And this is a middle influence card, so it's saying that this is something that will happen several months after the reading. So, to me, I see that as like a sign of like, okay, like maybe people are going to feel comfortable starting to gather again, especially as we're coming into the holidays. And also like the connections you make now, you'll carry with you. I think, this is a very interesting time, and a lot of us have been forced to just totally pause, and if not pause, just like completely change and shift our whole lives. Everything's changing. And I think a lot of us have maybe made new connections and maybe done some, if you're here, you've probably done some self-discovery and maybe becoming more awakened and realizing who you are, and realizing maybe that some of the connections you've had in the past are no longer serving you. I myself know I've made a lot of connections that I feel are really truly aligned with my soul's purpose. So I think, it is a great time to create those connections that you will carry with you on your journey. You don't have to be isolated. Even if you don't feel comfortable being around people right now, there are still ways that we can connect with each other. Sometimes we have to be creative, but I think it's important to create those lasting connections. So now if that is the situation, then the outcome of doing so would be continuous friendship with many worthwhile people. The card tells you that you have made friends with people who are of good character. They're a good influence in your life. Your shared interests will be a support and inspiration to you. The people can include those you work with, live with, or have as friends. The picture quite often appears when you're in transition. That is, changing from one stage in your life to another. And that's totally what all of us are going through right now, what the entire world is going through. And just as I said before, those connections that you make, those are going to carry you through and carry you on your journey. Those connections that you make now, that are going to serve you on your soul's journey and in your soul's purpose. And, you know, again, we're all changing. We're moving from one phase of life into the next, and everything is being disrupted, and there's a huge upheaval of just the world as we know it. So, we've got to kind of embrace those changes and figure out where to go from here. But I think those connections and those friendships are the key to moving forward. The picture is a reminder that you've established strong bonds that will remain in spite of the changes that are going on in your life. The picture further tells you that your friends will be there should you need them. These are not frivolous friends who disappear when the goodies are gone. Rather, they are friends who nurture you as you nurture them back also. And that's what I'm talking about as being like those that better serve you. It's like you don't have to compete with each other. You support each other and you lift each other up. And it's all about balance. So this is a very crucial time to learn what is good for you and what isn't. So the next image is the crayfish. It's a short to life card. So, it could be spanning from like a couple weeks from now throughout your whole entire life. And it has to do with learning to cope with fate. The crayfish is a small crustacean that lives under rocks in rivers and ponds. It's a scavenger, eating anything found in the waters. At the same time, it is prey to larger fish and especially humans who find it delicious. The crayfish picture represents fate, being in the right place and doing the right thing. As the crayfish is sandwiched between being a predator and a victim, so we find ourselves caught up in the situations where we want to do one thing, but fate doesn't open up the opportunity. When that happens, I feel like it's something guiding us and telling us that it's not meant for us right then. Or maybe not at all. The picture may have a short period of influence, or it can explain happenings that affect your entire life. The crayfish deals more with your emotional reactions to what fate deals out to you. It shows ways of dealing with setbacks that you will encounter in life, so it's more of dealing with emotions. So we have it in position 4, which says, too much haste often defeats the business. The meaning is the same as the proverb, haste makes waste. The picture tells you to slow down, to be more careful in what you're doing. By giving yourself time, you will do a much better job. The picture can refer to any project or idea that you have. To me, that totally represents... this kind of slow down that we've been forced into, when we're rushing along and letting life pass us by, where we're so focused on things that are probably truly unimportant. We tend to miss life and miss the lessons and the beauty and just the things that we're meant to learn, that our soul, each one of our individual souls is meant to learn here in this lifetime on this physical plane. Basically, I think wake up and smell the roses, enjoy the beauty, or stop and smell the roses, I guess is what I mean to say, and just see all the beauty around you and get off your phones. Everyone's always looking down. I hate that when I see entire families out at a restaurant and everybody's looking down. You know, it's really like we talked about in the last card, it's just so important to connect. And, you know, you have to pay attention to the cards that are near each other too, you know, and I think there's a message there, is that we need to be connected. It's very important. So I think, yeah, you know, we got to slow down and realize, you know, what we're really here for. So the picture, or it tells you, the picture in this position tells you that careful, diligent action on your part is needed at this time. In fact, the activity may be delayed even for years without any loss in the final outcome. Perfect what you have first and only then venture forth. And protect what you have. I think what you have is what is within you. And you should search that and discover that, and take this time to really do that. Because, you know, once you do, moving forward might look a lot different for you than what you originally thought it might have been like 5-6 months ago. So take that time to reflect and slow down, you know, perfect yourself, so that you can put your best foot forward. And in doing, if you do that and doing so, the outcome would be having made too bold a step, you'll back off. So I guess that's saying, like, if you don't take the advice of what it just gave you, of the card in position 4, and stop and slow down and not rush things, it'll say it says having made too bold a step, you'll back off. You'll realize, you know, whoa, like I need to maybe step back for a minute and take another look at that. The picture usually comes up in this position when you have more than one way of dealing with a situation. For example, you need to travel to a destination. Should you drive or take the plane? You want to take the car because it'll give you more freedom, but if you take the plane, you'll be more rested and will lose fewer working days. Your emotions take over and you decide to drive. You make all the arrangements, but at the last moment, reason takes over and you back down. When the picture comes up in this position, it usually indicates that you are not really ready to make the move, or that fate doesn't want you to make this move at this time. The picture can refer to major moves, such as emigrating to a new country, or minor ones, like deciding not to go on a date with a new friend. Whatever the step is that you have to back off from, you should not feel guilty, as this is simply not the right time for your action. So basically it's again reiterating the fact that we need to step back and look at the big picture before, you know, rushing into moving forward. I think that's really, really like reiterating that. So just slow down, and it's tough, you know, it's tough on so many people right now, financially, mentally, spiritually. You know, a lot of people are really struggling with it, but, you know, we have to push through and persevere and really take a look at our lives and really take a look at our true soul's desires, you know. And I think a lot of us have been stuck in like dead-end jobs, and, you know, what's the point, honestly? Like, it's just like a means to an end. It's not really, you know, we have to take chances on ourselves, and sometimes that can be really hard, and sometimes that can put you in a really tough place. But those are all challenges that that your soul has to face on this plane, in this plane of existence, you know, in this journey, on Earth, you know. So yeah, it's just, I think it's really beneficial to take that time to reflect and figure out what it is that you want. Because really, like, nobody should be just living, a life that's just all about like a monotonous life, where you're just kind of going through the motions, because each and every one of you is here for a reason. And, you know, if we don't take a step back and look at the big picture, then we lose sight of what that reason is, and we end up caught and stuck in this just like mundane existence. So don't allow yourself to get stuck there. Like, this is your chance to break free of all of that. So next we have the horseshoe. The horseshoe is a middle influence card, so like a few months from now, is a symbol for success. The horseshoe picture tells of great luck or success. It implies luck or good fortune due to one's efforts. Our efforts at inventing, pursuing, or working very hard at something will bring us good fortune. So we have it in position 3, your desire will be fulfilled. Your desire will be fulfilled. Whatever you've been wishing for will come true. Generally, it is something that you've been working on or dreaming of for some time. The idea is to make sure that you set goals and have dreams that can come true. No wish or idea is too far-fetched to happen. It's only you who sets limits on how far you can go. That's true. We set so many limits on ourselves, and we give ourselves really unrealistic goals. You know, you should really give yourself goals that you can like cross off, that you can realistically cross off, you know. But yeah, so I was talking before about how, you know, the law of attraction exists, but you can't just sit around and expect things to fall in your lap. You have to make a real effort to be open to receive those things, to truly be open to receive those things. And I think that what that means is seeing yourself, actually seeing yourself in the life that you desire and manifesting that. And the blessings that are already destined for you will come your way. And I also think, I think that it could also mean that, you know, whatever you've been wishing for will come true, like that maybe there's the other side to all of this, you know, this phase, this shift that we're going through, you know, maybe the other side of the rainbow, you know, maybe it's coming soon. We'll see, but that, you know, that could represent that. So the outcome: good fortune or great success awaits you. You'll be successful, but only to the degree that you put effort into it. Don't just sit back and wish for success. Do something to get it. And that's what I just said. You know, you can't expect it to just fall in your laps. Like, you have to go get it, and be open to receive all of the blessings coming your way. See yourself successfully living the life that you are meant to live. Physically, or like, just picture yourself in that life. Act as though you already have it. And that's what I believe fake it till you make it means. To me, that's what it means. It's literally talking about the law of attraction. You know, you live your life as though you already have everything you need. And everything that you need will attract itself to you. The picture tells you that your ideas and efforts are worthwhile and will meet with great success if you pursue them. Use your talents and great success will follow. Remember, we talked about before, is everybody has some type of purpose here. Everybody has a reason for being and something to offer the world. You know, everybody has something unique to offer to the world. So just remember that, you know, use your talents. You have your talents for a reason, and success will follow if you only use what you are God-given. Okay, so the final image is the bridge, which I forgot to mark. But that's okay. I can still find it. Aha. The bridge. So it's a short to life picture. So it could be from, a couple weeks from now, spanning your whole life. And it's a symbol for deliberate change. So this is one of the life pictures. The bridge symbolizes our ability to change our circumstances. We often refer to life as a road. A bridge is an example of our manipulation of our environment, the ability to change the road we're on. We don't have to sit and wait for nature to take its course. Instead, we can change the environment to suit our purpose. This picture emphasizes that we have some control over our lives, that our willpower is stronger than fate. We cannot forget that we have free will. I think it's something that's easily forgotten because we tend to be so easily manipulated, but we have free will. It's very important. And you also, there might be a great destination that you're meant to get to, and there's literally millions of paths that lead to that same destination. So the path that you choose is totally up to you, and you can change your path throughout your life. You don't have to stay on the same one. You can get off your path and change it. So just remember that, you're not tied to your, things that have happened to you in the past or things that your family has done. You can't define yourself by certain ideas or what you're told you are. People are constantly changing and growing, or they should be. So, don't let one thing define who you are. And if you feel the need to switch direction or change your path, that is totally up to you. Nobody can tell you that you can't do that. It's totally within you. You are free. So we have it in position 4, which says, if you want freedom, create a bridge over the chasm. Seek a new solution to your problem. Rather than getting stuck in your problem, create a new bridge that will let you step over it. And I think that's kind of what I said, is that, you can create your path. There's not one defined path that is for you. You are totally free to move, to change, to create a new path. You can build a bridge anywhere. So just remember that. Remember that when you tell yourself that you are whatever idea you have of yourself, whatever people have told you that you are or are not through your whole life. Forget about all that and choose the path that you want to go down. Don't let old ideas or old influences define who you are today. Who you are right now in this moment. Too often we get so bogged down in our problems that we forget there are solutions. If you can't think of anything yourself, then seek the advice of those who can help you. Understand and overcome your problems. Don't just accept what you're being told. You are free. You are free to lead out your soul's purpose. So it's easy for our minds to be manipulated and controlled, and sometimes it seems easier that way. But again, we all have a purpose here, and I think that gets stifled a lot, and just by society and by the norms that are created, and what we're told we're supposed to be, how we're told how we're supposed to think, how we're supposed to act, what we're supposed to wear. All these ideas that just consume our minds and are so trivial, really, in the grand scheme of things. You know, it made all these things like make us forget, almost like train us to forget who we really are and why we're really here. So I think, you know, we have to remember our free will and our freedom to choose our path. And if we do that, a radical change in lifestyle awaits you. The picture appears when you have finished one phase of your life and are embarking on a new one. Your previous life is finished. Some people do not react favorably to change and may resent the new obligations and responsibilities. Yet new joys and rewards are also in store. We have to accept that it's time to start anew. You know, we're going through, there's so many different phases that we go through in life and that the earth goes through. And we are in a phase right now that we are going through, and we've had to kind of like change our way of life as we know it. And I think that is really hard for a lot of people to adapt and change. Change is hard. We tend to fear what we don't know. We've gotten comfortable in a certain way of life. And, you know, I think when you get too comfortable, you kind of get complacent, and we forget what we're really meant for. I keep saying that and I keep reiterating that, but I think it's so true that, you know, as we get older, I think we're born knowing our soul's purpose. And, you know, as we go through life, it just tends to get stifled, and we tend to forget that, you know, our soul came here and for a reason and had some lessons to learn. You know, so we have to come to terms with, you know, no matter what you believe about anything, like, things are changing. So, you know, we have to kind of realize that the old life, the old phase, what was going on before, that's gone now. You know, we have to let it go. We have to release it, and we have to move forward into the next phase. And, you know, we have the power and we have the free will and the freedom to choose what that's going to be. And, you know, collectively, we have the ability to shift into a more positive world, you know, and what we said in a previous card, and that's kind of connected to this, is those connections that you make and create with people, these positive connections for people, you know, meeting people that better serve your soul's purpose and connecting with them and sharing your experiences and your ideas, and you're releasing this positive energy into the world, and the world needs more of that if it's going to shift back towards positive, from this great negativity that we've been sitting in for so long now. I think it's inevitable that is what is to come. You know, we're hitting rock bottom right now, and we can only go up from that. So keep that in mind. You know, keep in mind that we have to accept that the old life is finished, and the new one is coming. You know, it's coming. No matter what, things are changing, hopefully for the better. I'm drinking Buddha teas. They're my favorite, probably. I'm drinking lemon balm tea. I love their CBD teas as well. They are amazing. So anyways, thank you for tuning in to my late night rambly church lesson. I appreciate everyone watching and sticking with me. I hope you're learning something from this. I hope you're learning something about yourself, about the world, about the universe, about you know, the source, and where we're going, what we've been through, and where we're headed. So, gosh, I have a couple quotes that I'm going to leave you with because I can't decide which one to share. So I think just something we always talk about, or that I always talk about in every single episode of church, is just how important it is to connect with yourself and to search within yourself. So I thought this was an appropriate quote. When you connect to the silence within you, that is when you can make sense of the disturbance going on around you. So, and that's Stephen Richards. So when you connect with the silence within you, when you stop and you meditate and you look within yourself and you listen to what's inside and within, you can start to make sense of the disturbance that's going on the outside. It's going on all around you. And finally, I'm going to leave you a quote from one of my favorite authors. A single event can awaken within us a stranger totally unknown to us. To live is to be slowly born. And that's so true, and that just really resonated with me because, as I was saying before, is there's lessons in everything, and we're constantly learning as we go. We're learning these lessons. So to be alive, I also said that Einstein quote that, when we stop learning, we die, or we're dead or whatever, is that to live, to be alive is to be slowly born, throughout your entire span of life on this earth, because you're constantly growing, you're constantly learning new things, you're constantly taking in information that, will guide you on your journey. And that is a quote by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. He's the author of The Little Prince, one of my favorite books. Anyways, so that is church, and I think I made it before midnight, so I got it in just like I promised you, and we will hopefully be back on track next week. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and all of the past weeks. You're amazing. I love you. Namaste.